Hi folks, welcome to A Life Well Spent. This is my weekly budget recap where I am tracking my spending and see how I'm doing on my budget. And the reason I do that, if you're new here, is because I used to use cash for a lot of things to try to keep track of what I'm spending in certain accounts like groceries, eating out, things like that, because those especially were areas where I would definitely bust my budget. And cash helped me keep track of that. And I know that, hey, I can go out to eat. I still have money in this envelope. Um, but with the pandemic, I haven't really been doing that. And I kind of don't really want to handle cash. So I've been swiping a card and swiping a card. And at some point, I realized, man, I'm not really sure what I'm spending anymore. So I have decided to do these kind of weekly tracking videos to kind of take a look at, where I'm at, how much I have left to spend in the month and things like that. So this week I did one shopping thing, mostly because we had some pretty bad weather, although not as, I mean, probably more intense than Texas, but I live in the north, so whatever Texas got, we could have absorbed just fine. In fact, I think we did get it after them. Like, I think it dipped into Texas and then came up to where I am. Like, I think we got hit with both of those storms, but we could certainly manage them a lot better. The ice storm, not so much, but that meant like nobody's really driving around anywhere or doing anything. So I think I got groceries on Saturday. So that technically was part of last week's video. And then I, you know, wasn't really going anywhere because there was ice Monday into Tuesday, I want to say. And then Thursday into Friday it snowed. So I was kind of home most of the time and I resisted going online and buying something, which is nice. So really the only thing I did was buy groceries. And I did that yesterday. So that was technically part of the week still. So I went to the grocery store and I spent $39.23 at the grocery store. So that is all I have spent this week, which is fantastic. Love it. I'm kind of afraid though, if I have weeks where I'm not really spending any money, I'm going to have another week where I kind of overspend on like stupid things I don't need. So hopefully having to check in will help with that. But that leaves me with $119.69 left in my grocery budget. Which is kind of interesting. For a while there, I was giving myself $100 a month for groceries because I had already stocked up on a lot of stuff in the past. I had like all the beef I could possibly ask for because my cousin and her husband raised beef cattle. And so my parents and I, when they were sending them to get butchered, my parents and I think we split a side. So I was able to get it like at a great price and more beef than I could possibly imagine, and that lasted me for years, seriously years. um so I was really, and I kind of like bulk bought like chicken and stuff like that, and so when I was starting to budget, I was like, I don't really need to buy any meat. I have all the cleaning supplies I could possibly need. Maybe I should just try to see if I can get by on like $25 a week of like produce, fresh produce, basically. And so for a while, that's what it was. Now that's changed a little bit with the pandemic. I'm a little bit more cautious about how much fresh produce I'm buying, but I'm also making sure that like I'm stocking up on different things in case we've had like a shutdown here or there and things have been dicey for a while. I think things are relaxing a little bit, which is nice. And I say relaxing in like the numbers. And I think things are starting to kind of shift back into normal. Like we're still wearing masks, but you don't have to like walk around and feel like everybody's typhoid Mary around you. So that's nice. Um, but that does mean that like I can go to the grocery store more frequently. Um, and I don't know, but I kind of like this once a week thing. It is a pain to go once a week, I'll say, but like I feel like I do a better job of like not wasting food that way. And I probably could skip if I wasn't going to get some fresh produce. I could probably skip for a week or two and just like eat out of my pantry, but um I don't like canned vegetables at all. Like I think they taste disgusting. So I really need to do like fresh or frozen. So that kind of limits my vegetable eating abilities, which means I'm, gonna kind of have to frequently go to the store for them. Unless it's the summertime and I can grow a lot of them. But at any rate, that's um that's all the spending for the week. I am actually looking at making a new budget, one that actually, so I really like tracking in all these categories, and I like that it totals, and I like that it reports back to these areas here. I'm trying to like point at it, like you can see me pointing. You can only see the cursor. um, but I feel like I want to know kind of what I'm spending week to week to week. So I'm kind of thinking I want something that's going to let me register all my transactions kind of in one list with a date on it, and then I can kind of filter by date and see like what I'm spending when. We'll see. So I'm kind of toying with retooling. I'm trying to actually I'm doing like December, or I'm sorry, February's budget. Like I'm doing it in here because this is where I started it, and I kind of retooled it one for February, and just to kind of match them up and see if everything works the way it's supposed to. So I'm thinking that's going to be the easiest right now in both places. Look at this. I have $466.68, and there is 1 week left in this month. It's February. There's 28 days in February, and it is already February 21st. I know that my Hulu has to come out yet. So that's 635. So that leaves me with 460. Let me see here. I am gonna spend some, most likely. I keep like getting hair in my like little tiny hairs in my mouth. I have another physical therapy appointment this week, so I will be eating out. So I'll be spending some of that restaurant money. And I actually don't think I need gas, so I might even be able to manage. So I will basically go for groceries on Saturday, and I will eat out on Monday. Probably like Wendy's because I can do it super cheap. And where I go for my physical therapy, like my options are like Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell. There's like some local pizza shoppy kind of places. Um, and a brewery, which I love, but I'm not eating at a brewery for $16. So, um, with that in mind, like I'm I might be $400 under my like budgeted amount of money, which just means it's $400 that can go towards my next goal of paying off my student loans because ooh, my Citibank card finally cleared, so it is zeroed out. Sweet. I'm so excited. I'm really excited, especially because I definitely got it paid off before. I did one of those balance transfers, and there was 22 months on it, maybe, I want to say. And I knew at some point this spring that that was going to be up, and so I was kind of really on like, I gotta do this off, I gotta pay this off, I gotta pay this off. So they charged me like a certain amount, I think the first month in it, like to do the transfer, and it was only like 300 some dollars. I think it was still less than I was paying in interest on my Discover card, before I transferred the balance. So I feel like I was definitely going to be paying that and then some. So the $300 was totally worth it, because it's way less than I would have been paying otherwise. So yeah, that's paid off. The student loan is paid off. The Citi card, oh my God, it took like 4 or 5 days to like actually clear and show up on my in my app and on my account that like I had a zero balance. How amazingly exciting is that? Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I will see everyone next week. I'm actually just gonna, rather than do the whole like week, I'll include my final week spending and I'll close out my budget. But with that in mind, I have a week to finalize my March budget, and I might actually try the new budget template that I've been working on. I can give you a quick sneak peek here. This is, oh, you can't see my tabs. I have a test feb tab. And one of the things, like, I'm actually starting to learn a little bit more like cool Excel spreadsheet stuff. I'm kind of nerding out over spreadsheets right now. Um, but it's gonna look, let me click on it here, a little bit something like this. I've got fund transactions over here, but I think I'm actually gonna put these on the other side. And then it's kind of gonna be like color coded, have all expenses coming out. And then like I just want to be able to focus on categories. And then on like over on this side where I can actually do transactions, I'll be able to see like what got spent where, and then I can just kind of filter and see like what's under personal or what's under this or what's under that. So I've got to kind of figure out exactly what that's going to look like. So I'm just kind of playing around with some things. I'm playing around with some uh, I do have my weekly breakdown. I'm trying to figure out ways that I can take those transactions and use formulas to kind of auto fill in these areas. And one of those is the sum if formula, which is a good one. And there's another one, which is sum ifs, which has multiple criteria to it. And I mean, I can explain that once I get it to actually work. And I'm hoping, we'll see. I've been watching like tons of Excel videos this past week to try to figure out different ways and that I can set up my budget, different things I can do. So anyway, working on that. We'll see. Oh, I just realized this doesn't have my giving tab. Dang it. I gotta add a row. Oh well, I guess that's why we test them out first, right? So anyway, that's it. Really short one this week, and the next video will either be my March budget or my February wrap up. They may come kind of fast, one after the other, depending on when I have time to make them. It will definitely not be tomorrow because I have PC after work. But perhaps later on in the week I can do finalize my budget for March. Wow. I can't believe it's already March. Like, that's almost a year of this pandemic. Feels like 10 years, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it really does. Okay. See you next time. Bye, everyone.